Have you ever wondered why many women, especially younger ones, are attracted to older men? It's not just about the salt and pepper hair or the calm demeanor. There's something deeper, something subconscious that makes older men more desirable. It's the way they carry themselves, the emotional maturity they offer, and the sense of security, stability, and strength that they project. Qualities that are often missing in immature relationships. For many women, being with an older man feels like being seen, heard, and valued in a way that's hard to describe. It's about more than love. It's about trust, wisdom, and connection. So let's break down the 7 profound reasons women are drawn toward older men, and why this kind of attraction runs far deeper than you might think. 1. Strong decision-making. There's a certain calmness that comes from being with a man who doesn't hesitate or second-guess himself constantly. Strong decision-making is a trait many older men embody, not just in major life choices but in day-to-day interactions. They're often decisive without being impulsive, clear without being controlling. This is incredibly attractive because women want to feel like they're not carrying the weight of the relationship alone. Older men, through years of personal and professional growth, often understand when to take charge and when to allow space. This maturity gives women the confidence that if life throws a curveball, their partner won't collapse under pressure. Whether it's navigating career changes, family challenges, or emotional ups and downs, an older man with sharp decision-making skills offers a sense of direction and leadership. Women don't want indecisiveness when it comes to love. They want someone who chooses them, commits to them, and moves forward without confusion. And that's something older men tend to do with confidence and grace. It's not arrogance, it's clarity, and that clarity feels like emotional safety in a chaotic world. 2. Class and manners. In a world where basic respect is often missing, class and manners shine like gold. Women find themselves naturally drawn to older men who carry a timeless sense of etiquette and grace. These men don't need to be flashy or overly formal. They just know how to behave. They listen attentively, don't interrupt, open doors, show up on time, and treat everyone, from waiters to coworkers, with kindness and respect. It's not just about how they treat her in private, but how they behave in public. That consistency builds trust. Older men have often learned through experience how powerful small gestures are. Pulling out a chair, complimenting genuinely, respecting her boundaries, and making her feel like a priority. These things aren't forgotten. They become the quiet details that leave lasting emotional impact. Women want to feel cherished, not just wanted. They want a man who respects her mind, values her presence, and makes her feel feminine, elegant, and admired. Class isn't bought. It's earned through life, and when an older man shows this, it becomes one of the most quietly attractive things he brings to the table. 3. Serious intentions. Many women are exhausted by vague connections and emotional games. That's why older men who know what they want and are ready to commit immediately stand out. Serious intentions are incredibly rare today. Younger men may still be figuring themselves out, experimenting with identity, and fearing commitment. Older men, on the other hand, often know exactly where they stand and what they want in a partner. They don't waste time on meaningless flings or shallow pursuits. When they engage emotionally, it's usually with depth and purpose. This gives a woman something she craves deeply: emotional certainty. She doesn't have to overanalyze texts, question his loyalty, or constantly seek reassurance. She can just relax into the relationship, knowing it's moving toward something real. This intentionality is not only attractive, it's comforting. It allows her to focus on building a future, not fixing confusion. Older men bring clarity, consistency, and direction into the relationship, and that kind of presence becomes a magnet for women who are serious about love and life. 4. Supportive attitude. The emotional strength of a man is tested by how he shows up for the people he loves, not just in good times, but when they're growing, struggling, or questioning themselves. Older men, through years of emotional experience, often develop a deeply supportive nature. They've learned that real love isn't about controlling someone. It's about standing beside them as they become their best self. Whether she's launching a career, healing from past trauma, or simply evolving as a person, a supportive older man doesn't feel threatened by her growth. He encourages it. He listens without trying to fix, gives advice without ego, and celebrates her successes without jealousy. That kind of emotional support isn't common, and women know it. This trait is especially attractive because it removes the emotional pressure that many women feel in younger relationships. With a supportive man, she feels safe to evolve, free to express, and motivated to rise. And that kind of emotional partnership is more powerful than any physical attraction. It creates a bond that's rooted in mutual respect and growth. 5. Respect for women. Respect is more than just politeness. It's a deep-rooted understanding that women are not extensions of men, but complete, intelligent, emotional beings deserving of full consideration. Older men, especially those who've grown through meaningful relationships, tend to possess a heightened emotional respect for women. They don't interrupt her opinions, dismiss her ideas, or make her feel less than. Instead, they acknowledge her experiences, honor her perspective, and value her contributions, whether in a relationship or in life. That level of recognition is magnetic to a woman who's tired of being underestimated or objectified. And it's not just about how he treats her, it's how he talks about women in general. A man who speaks with respect about his mother, his past relationships, his co-workers, shows his true values. That earns a woman's trust faster than any flirtation. Because respect creates a safe emotional space. A space where love, vulnerability, and real partnership can actually flourish. 6. Independence. There's something irresistible about a man who doesn't need a woman, but genuinely wants her. That kind of independence speaks to emotional wholeness. Older men have usually moved past the phase of needing external validation. They're settled, stable, and often comfortable being alone. And ironically, that makes them even more attractive. This independence isn't about being distant or detached. It's about emotional self-sufficiency. He doesn't require constant reassurance. He has his own life, interests, and values, and respects that she does too. This creates a dynamic where both partners grow together, not by clinging to each other, but by respecting each other's autonomy. Women feel safe in this space. They don't feel smothered or controlled. They can be fully themselves, knowing they're not responsible for constantly managing his moods or ego. Older men often give this kind of emotional freedom, and in return women offer a deeper, more relaxed kind of love. Because when pressure disappears, intimacy flows. 7. Ability to make her feel safe. More than money, more than charm, more than status. What women often want most is to feel safe. Not just physically but emotionally and mentally. Older men, through years of growth, have learned how to offer this security. They don't shout when angry. They don't ignore when hurt. They don't play games when scared. Instead, they show up, with calmness, maturity, and presence. A woman feels safe when she knows her emotions are heard, her thoughts respected, and her vulnerabilities protected. This emotional safety is the foundation of every lasting relationship. And older men, because they've lived and learned, tend to be far better at creating this environment. He remembers the little things. He stays calm during disagreements. He gives her space when she needs it, and closeness when she doesn't know how to ask. This kind of stability is what allows a woman to truly open her heart. Because when she doesn't have to be in defense mode, she can be in love mode. And that's when the magic really happens. In the end, it's not age that attracts women. It's the experience that comes with age. It's the calmness in his voice, the thought behind his actions, the safety in his presence, and the certainty in his love. Women are drawn to older men because they often offer what younger men are still learning to develop: emotional intelligence, patience, clarity, and purpose. When a woman finds a man who respects her growth, supports her heart, and creates a space where she can be both strong and soft, she doesn't let him go. These 7 traits aren't just desirable, they're rare. And for many women, older men hold the keys to a kind of relationship that feels real, mature, and truly life-changing.